What's good, YouTube? I'm back with another video. Today we'll be reacting to these crazy motherfuckers right here, y'all. We be reacting to these crazy couple. Apparently, right, you gotta tell by the title, they found a murder house. And if you look at the thumbnail, it's like they shocked that they found it. I don't know what people be thinking, man. People be doing it. People just be wild. But look, we're gonna get straight to it. Y'all know how we do it. If y'all watched one of my videos before, y'all already know how it goes. If y'all didn't, if y'all new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, lock in.
We're gonna start creeping that way. We're gonna just check down. Right now. Do not move! You hear me? Please don't shoot! Put your hands up! Put your hands on your face! Put your hands on your face! Sit still! Hit your face, driver! Hit your head in your face! Do not move! Go to the ground! Go to the ground! Go to the ground!
Babe, what's going on? Why are we on TV?
Don't talk to him.
On December 7th, 2018, authorities in Georgia were alarmed about a killer couple while trying to solve a brutal murder incident. In a twisted investigation, the officers discovered a locked apartment hiding disturbing scenes inside, only to reveal to the cops that they were standing in the murder house of the couple who had already fled the area and had started planning their next hunt with no idea that cops were coming for them.
Wait, so this is a thing? Like, they won't done. You can't make this up.
I need to kill myself because my dad died. Will I be able to contact family before we go to jail?
At around 10:15 p.m. on December 7th, 2000.
But look, let me let y'all know, like, I laugh a lot, y'all. This not in no way, shape, or form is funny, y'all. Like, prayer to the victims. You know, R.I.P. y'all. This is a reaction video, though.
18, officers in Gwinnett County, Georgia, were dispatched to the
like a lot of shit happened in
4,300 block
Georgia,
of Leland Place Lane in Lawrenceville after receiving a 911 call about a car accident. In the call, a man told the dispatchers that his friend had been hit by a car. When responding officers arrived, they found a man heavily bleeding from the head and lying near a tree close to an apartment building. He was rushed to the emergency room, but unfortunately could not be saved by the doctors. The man was identified as 32-year-old Marcos Guerra Lopez, an immigrant from Mexico. Marcos died the next day from a blunt force trauma to the head that had further fractured his skull and injured the orbital part above the eyes. Officers noted that there were no visible injuries on the man below the neck, which led them to suspect that it was maybe not a car accident that killed him. By the time the case was handed over to the county detectives, they were already 2 days behind on their investigation. Starting from scratch, detectives first met with the 911 caller to hear the initiating events that turned lethal. This man worked with Marcos as a construction worker, and the incident happened 2 weeks after Marcos had returned from his hometown in Mexico.
I'm Detective Smith. You're not in any trouble. All we care about is finding who did this. Does his family know what happened?
Yes.
Okay. So start from the beginning on Friday and tell me how you got to that point.
That day we were in construction. Lunchtime we were looking at the Meet page.
The man said they were using an online app called Meet Me to find a woman for Marcos.
I saw that girl, Glenda Williams.
Y'all stay off the maps, man. Stay off the maps.
She was giving out her phone number, so money.
Guys, go outside. Do it the old-fashioned way, man.
Because he doesn't speak English, right?
Pull up on you a shorty at the club, Walmart.
She wanted to like 3 weeks ago.
Stay off the maps.
Okay.
You never
I
know.
asked her, do you have a place? And she's like, yes. I got a vacant place at the apartment where I was living.
According to the man, Glenda told them she used her old apartment for these meetups and invited them to drive to the same place. The man stated that Glenda had first asked them if they had gotten paid by that day.
He sent her a picture of him. And she's like, you're sexy, beautiful and all that. And she's like, you must have, yes, gotten paid.
Why did she say that?
I don't know, because, you know, like, probably was Friday. She told her, like, everybody got paid on Friday.
How much did he have on him?
I'm guessing, like, between $1,000 and $2,000.
Okay. So you guys get there. Where's she at?
When we got there, she was already lined up for
Yeah, a
us.
couple racks.
He said
couple
that
racks
Glenda
on,
was already
couple
waiting
racks.
for them in a red SUV when they got to the
Slight.
address.
Nothing
She
crazy.
said, "Come on, follow me." I saw him going there, but I didn't see him.
Do you know if he went up the stairs? Do you know any of that?
No. After a while, I saw like a black guy walk out of the corridor.
Okay.
And I got in the SUV.
So he got into that red SUV?
SUV.
Okay.
And took off. That must be like the girl's pimp, Glenda Williams.
Next, the man said they got a nerve-chilling call from none other than Marcos, but he wasn't the one speaking from the other side.
Between 8:50 and 9:10, the guy called us and said, "You better come in because we beat him up and he's gonna die like in 30 minutes if you don't come and get him." And I heard Marcus like screaming on the background, and like screaming like painful screams.
Uh-huh.
We were looking for him.
For the next hour, the man said he and his friend kept looking for Marcos, and they finally found him lying outside the building. The officers wanted to know about Glenda Williams, who invited them in the first place.
What did this Glenda girl look like? You showed us her on the meetup out, right?
Mm.
Did you find her on Facebook or anywhere else?
After that, I've been searching her on Facebook and like compared pictures
Yeah.
with me to Facebook, and they look alike. And it's
So you did find one? Or
it's
no?
Glenda and Russell Williams.
The Facebook page found by the victim's friend belonged to Glenda, but it was a shared account with a man named Russell Williams. Following the information, detectives also found a Facebook page named Glenda and Russell Williams with a picture of Glenda and her partner. They learned from the page that the couple was used to selling various items on Facebook. Detectives also found that Russell owned a red 2007 Mercury Mariner, which matched the red SUV vehicle description given by the 911 caller. His last registered address was the same apartment complex where Marcos had gone to. Detectives now had to verify the address to be sure it belonged to the same man, but shocking news awaited them at the site that further added chills to the scenario. When detectives reached the apartment complex, they saw patrol officers already working at the scene. Detectives learned that another incident of the exact nature had happened with another man around a few hours earlier. A man was lured into an apartment with the invitation of action for money, but it turned out to be a grisly nightmare for him. Detectives lay their hands on the suspect's lease papers, which reveal the full name of the woman as 20-year-old Glenda Carter. The victim, before being taken to the hospital, claimed that a short white female with black hair came to get him, and when he entered an apartment, he was
What's the other
beaten
guy
with a
named?
baseball
Russell.
bat and robbed. Coming across two
going
incidents
on
of a
with y'all,
common
man?
nature in 2 days straight now concerned the detectives, who had known by now that they were dealing with multiple suspects, but did not have any physical evidence against them yet. Immediately after the second incident, detectives seized the apartment and went to inspect inside.
We are going to go into the apartment and see if we can find any of
In the
the
same
objects that could have been
complex.
used to hit either of the victims. We're going to be
Was it
looking
the
for
same exact
blood.
apartment?
Just anything
They-
that'll help us identify
Yeah,
the
they
people
wild.
staying in the apartment.
Maybe blood drops on there.
You would think that the
That's
police
not-
would be
that looks
watching
like
when
it
they
now.
found the first one.
Detectives found the apartment all empty, but horror was unleashed upon them once they entered the master bedroom. The room's carpet was disturbingly painted with large stains of blood. The splatters had also reached up the walls. A bloody hand was printed on the carpet, trying to paint the picture of a victim's struggle to escape.
He's aspirating blood out.
Detectives were now sure that both their victims were kept in the same room. Confident about getting some leads about the residents, detectives ran a neighborhood canvass, but neighbors had heard nothing unusual from the house.
So we didn't really catch anything. Nobody really heard or saw anything.
Out of potential leads about the suspects, detectives got to know that the second victim, who was still in the hospital, had recovered and was ready to talk. Hence, they arranged a meeting in the hospital.
Hey, I'm Detective Poppy. This is Detective Hamley. You feeling all right now, or
Oh yeah, I'm good. Man. You know,
what's going on with your arms? Are your arms broken?
it's broken beers, you know.
Mm-hmm. We're trying to get a little more information on what happened yesterday. You went to the apartment complex? Is that where this happened?
Me coming there, yeah. What I do, I see.
The victim then began to reveal shocking sights he claimed to have witnessed after meeting the woman.
They say a man 34. She worked for me already. Open the door and everything. When I go inside, the two guys coming. I try to open the door. One inside me to the back. When he turned around, the other guy hit me to the back of my head.
With the bat.
Yeah. I hit it, that guy. When I hit it, the guy got to the floor, I took the other one back. Later, give me like 2 or 3 more bats. That's what happened with my hand. He asked me for the wallet. He hit 1 extra morning. And I tell you, I don't got it. I leave in the car.
How did you manage to get away?
Because it's a lot of blood everywhere, white shirt. You go to the bathroom, they try to wash and everything. Then the other boy, I push the little boy, I push. When I push, I run out. I jump down to the harbor, I got my key in the engine, and I go.
Now, the 2 guys in the apartment, you said one guy's tall?
So,
yeah, man, he was kind of on his. He kind of on 10. He was 10 toes a little bit. But you went out there. Went in there without
the bat.
Without a weapon yourself.
Okay. He was a black male?
Yeah.
I don't go.
Yeah, I didn't
No,
the big one got a little bit.
Shorties will set you up. Not every shorty though, but you gotta be careful. Shit like this
So
happen.
he had a little bit of hair in his head.
Yeah.
Was his skin light or
Not
dark?
at all. I'm going nowhere
Next,
without
the
it on.
detectives showed him pictures of Glenda and Russell, but they were not expecting the answer they got.
You don't see anybody in there? No.
The victim could not identify either of the suspects that detectives had. He mentioned a tall black male who had hit him with a baseball bat, but according to his ending statement, it was not Russell Williams. It was frustrating for the detectives not to get a
won't
solid
you, Russell?
testimony,
My bad, Russell.
but it was also believed that the trauma the victim had endured after the sudden attack
Glenda.
may have kept him from taking a
What you
good
got
look at the
going
attackers,
on, Glenda? Make
and he
my
might
brother
not have
look
been able
bad.
to recall
Russell
the
ain't got nothing
faces
to do
just
with it.
yet. In any case, detectives needed to
Maybe.
make a solid move quickly. But with the suspect's unknown whereabouts, they knew they had one resort:
Yeah, I'm getting
to
sick.
return to Glenda and Russell's Facebook page and let the internet do its thing. The couple was currently trying to sell a TV online, and detectives decided to make an offer from their side. They used a fake account to bait the suspect and asked if the TV was still available. Luckily, it was still available, and with a smooth conversation, a mutual time was fixed between the 2 parties to meet in person the next day. Hope hovered over the investigation, assuming that the suspects would fall into the trap themselves without the detectives having to find them. Detectives obtained 2 warrants for Glenda regarding aggravated assault and armed robbery. If everything went according to plan, detectives would have enough to take the suspects into custody. However, things could also go wrong, as there was no surety about who and how many of them would be there. With the assistance of an undercover sting operation officer from the narcotics unit, detectives headed out to the meeting point with their eyes on a red SUV's arrival.
Gonna be in that maroon Mercury Mariner, so that's good for us. So we'll also have the car that they were in when the homicide occurred. Now we wait until she shows up. They're going to deploy a flashbang for the element of surprise.
And then, the hunt showed up.
Red Mercury SUV pulling in.
Yes.
We're gonna start creeping that way. We're gonna just down. Bring up. Police on your face! Put your hands up! Put your hands on your face! Put your hands on your face! Put your hands on your face right now! Do not move! You hear me? Sit still! Hit your face, driver! Keep your head to your face! Do not move! Go to the ground!
Detectives identified Glenda Carter and took her into custody.
Babe, what's going on? Why are we on TV?
Russell Williams was also found and detained for questioning. A baseball bat with stains of blood was obtained from the vehicle.
You see that bat has blood on it?
Glenda said a relative of theirs was present in the inn nearby.
You know.
Glenda, I'm Detective Smith. You guys are staying at the Red Roof?
Yes.
Okay, what room are you staying in?
206.
Is anybody else in there?
Yes, his brother.
Okay, what's his name?
Zarius Williams.
Okay.
Detectives decided to deploy into the Red Roof Inn and catch the third partner.
Left the door open.
Yeah, just move up and try to push it open.
I'm gonna go low.
All right, I'll
Push
go up.
over and you'll go high. Hit.
Ready? Sleep on the bed.
Yep.
Darius, Gwinnett County Police. I need you to step up out of the bed. Keep your hands up in the air. Move slowly, okay? Step backwards towards me.
Another black male was taken into custody. Detectives seized the red SUV and brought the suspects to the station for questioning. With 3 suspects arrested, it was still a mystery to the detectives who the shot caller behind these lethal actions was. The man caught at the last was identified as 21-year-old Zarius Williams, whom the detectives suspected to be the 3rd guy they were looking for.
No,
Zarius was
barely
also a
20
local graduate
too,
from
like, what's
Tequila,
wrong with
Georgia,
y'all?
like his brother Russell,
killing
and had
people?
no prior convictions. Detectives first began their questioning with the woman in talks, Glenda.
I'm not laughing, people.
I'm
I
Detective
don't know if
Long.
you can say
This
that.
is
on YouTube.
Detective Smith.
I know you're pretty upset right now. You okay?
I don't know what you're supposed to do.
Do what?
I want to know what's happening.
Okay. So we have an individual who was robbed of his items, okay? And that took place in the apartment that was registered to you and Russell. Okay, so that's kind of how we got to where we're at today. Okay. So talk to me about Friday.
Glenda was asked about the day Marcos and his friends met her.
Tell me how that occurred. Just start at the beginning and kind of walk me through.
I didn't mean for that.
Okay.
We needed the money. I planned on selling my body.
How are you meeting these guys?
Meet me. I was planning on having sex with all 3 of these dudes.
Okay.
They all was like, yes, we'll all pay you $60. And I was like, okay, that's $180. That's half of my room that I need to provide a roof over my head and food.
Glenda said that Russell and Zarius were there only for her protection, but things did not go well the day she met Marcos.
Russell
Russell
was
Darius
there.
was just there in the background
Damn,
just in case if I got
I was rooting for you.
wrong.
Yeah, so how did we get to this point?
I started feeling on the dude, and then I went to the bathroom to, I guess, clean myself, and then that's when they just jumped out. Sirius had the baseball bat, and Russell, they both just jumped out. I was confused. I didn't know. And
So you didn't know they were going to do that?
no, I had no idea. I was
Okay,
just,
so you're in the room and they jump out. Did you tell them to stop?
I was yelling. I was like, stop it, and Sirius, he was like, you shut the f*** up. I was in shock. I was going to legit sell myself. Because,
Okay.
I mean, when
Of
you're
course
in
you gonna
desperate
tell
need
on
of
y'all,
money, when
man.
you're
What?
homeless, I'm homeless basically. I'm trying to have a baby and stuff. I'm just trying to figure
Where's your
out
baby at?
defects.
Glenda said that her daughter was in foster care and she needed to get her back.
Is it your child with Russell?
With Russell, yes.
So you said Zarius had the bat and he hits the guy. How many times did he hit him?
This dude was like trying to fight them. He fell and they kept beating on him. I guess the dude, passed out or something, and they literally dragged him to the tree.
But you didn't plan for them to do that, right?
No, I
Okay.
just planned on selling myself.
I mean, you kind of knew that they were probably going to just try to take his stuff, right?
Glenda seemed unprepared for the actual questions detectives had.
Was that the plan, just to take their stuff and you're not actually going to sleep with them?
Possibly. I didn't know they was
Okay.
going to beat him like that.
Okay.
It broke my heart, literally. I
Okay.
cried that night.
So what did they take from him? What did you guys take from him?
They took literally just his wallet and
Okay.
his phone. So I'm willing to return the money to the guy.
Okay. So how long was it
She don't even know
before
she don't
his
even know
friends
he
went to
not
go
even
find
worth
him?
no more.
Sirius had the phone, and the people kept calling the person's phone. Darius answered. It was like, I beat your man, your friend, and I took them by the tree. Just go get him.
Why do you think Zarius made those statements?
Russell at the time was saying, I feel bad for this dude. Like, this dude could be dead.
At any point did you guys call 911?
No, Russell wanted to I guess, make an anonymous call, and Zarius was in the back like, no, you just have to stop beating. Y'all just go along with it. They're illegal. What they want to do.
All right. So on Sunday, what happened on Sunday?
It was just the same thing. I told them, only do it if they try to hurt me. Like, only hurt somebody if they hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
And they was like, okay, we got this.
Well, let us talk to everybody else and then we'll just come back and talk to you, okay?
Detectives then went to have a talk with Russell Williams and see if his story matched Glenda's.
We've talked to other people, and we know that there were some things happening where some people, ended up getting hurt. Okay. Ultimately, that apartment and where we know that things happened came back to you guys. But what I want you to do is just kind of explain it all to us so we can kind of understand what's going on, okay?
Sure. He was in like a bad financial situation. That's all it was. And I have a job. We're trying to survive off of my income.
What do you work?
I'm a welder.
So we know there was an incident that occurred on Friday at the apartment, okay? So can you walk me through that?
Well, I guess she just ended up talking to one of her friends, her friend over to the apartment complex. I was talking to the guy, asking if he had any money. We asked, can we borrow some money? We were agitated. He got kind of forceful.
Russell's story began to differ from what the detectives knew.
He ended up trying to touch on Glenda. We were just trying to ask you for some money, ask you for some help.
Okay, so who hit who first?
I was telling him, yo, don't touch my wife, and then he ended up hitting me, and I had to hit him back. I actually just pinned him down, actually, honestly.
Okay, so you pinned him
I
down.
learned that training from in the military.
So at what point did Zarius come in with a bat?
Yeah, I guess he was trying to defend me, because, you know, that's what brothers do.
Then what happens? For what really happens after that?
After that, and I carried him.
Yo, these detectives be asking the right question, bro. Y'all
What
see how
happened after that?
he
'Cause we know that his friends
twisted
were
him up? He
receiving
never said nothing about
messages
his bag.
from
He
the
just threw
guy's
that at
phone.
him.
We ended up sending a message of where he was.
Listen, Russell, I'm trying to be patient with you, but you're not being honest with us, man. And I'm
They be
not
asking
gonna
all
sit
the right
here
questions, y'all.
forever and hear all this stuff. You're trying to say that these guys bucked up on you first. We know that's not what happened. We know that you guys invited these gentlemen over there with the intentions of robbing them from the start. Simple as that. Yeah, they were fighting you back after you attacked them, correct? I mean, there's a bloody baseball bat in your car registered to you. You want to explain that? What's going on, man? Like, what's going on in your life?
Hey, you gotta
guys need to
register a
do this?
baseball bet?
It's not what's going on in life. We just
I never knew that.
wanted our daughters. That's all.
Explain that to me. When did you lose your daughter?
We couldn't afford to take care of her. So now she's in foster care. I don't know how, but somewhere down the road we became financially behind. All the bills that we had, like the car note, car insurance, we had credit people to pay back.
So, this is understandable. This makes me feel like you actually are a human being. Do you understand?
Things took a drastic change for the detectives once they wanted to know who was the mind behind that action.
I guess my biggest concern here is whose idea was this.
I guess it was like Glenda's idea.
Okay, once he got in the bedroom, where were you and your brother?
In the room.
What happened? Specifically, what happened?
I asked him if he had any money, and then he ended up grabbing up on me and pushed me back against the other side of the wall. That's when instincts kicked in, and I got mad and I hit him.
How many times did you hit him?
I hit him, it's like one time.
That's not true. We've been in that room. We saw the blood. We saw his face. His eyeball was almost out of his face completely. It's not from one hit. What happened in that room?
And my brother ended up hitting him with the baseball bat.
How many times?
I'm gonna say maybe about 3 times.
Okay.
Because he had ended up hitting him in the face.
Okay, so when you guys left the guy on Friday, you said that he was awake, alive. I mean, you said he was unconscious, I think, right?
No,
You don't know?
He was hot.
Well, here's the thing. He's dead. We're homicide detectives, okay?
He's dead as a result from the injuries he sustained during your incident. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us, Russell?
Did you say no?
Woo! Boy, you're laying that on. They walking right into it. They didn't even know he was dead. Maybe they did. I don't know, but
Right. He didn't come out as easy with it, but he gave it up.
Russell tried to shape the story in his favor, but failed. Detectives then turned to their last
which I
suspect,
think he gonna say. They
Zarius.
both said he hit him with the
We
bat.
know that there were some incidents that have occurred over the past weekend, okay? We want to make
He
sure
the one who
that
did. The
we're clear on
unalive.
your involvement and that you get to tell your side, okay?
All I know is that it was just like a little setup, basically, that I hid in one of the rooms. What is that? As soon as his back was turned, I jumped out.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? What I did was hit him a few times so that I make sure he was on the ground.
What'd you hit him with? Your fists, feet?
Fists.
Okay, what about the bat?
I have no involvement with the bat.
And talk to everybody else, and they say you had the bat, okay? You may have hit him with your fist, but you also hit him with the bat. So which one did you do first?
I don't know, it was a hand first.
Okay, and then when you hit him with the bat, how many times do you think you hit him?
3 or 4.
Whose idea was this?
I'm saying Glenda did. Glenda's.
And then it was her idea for y'all to rob them.
Yes.
Detectives then told Zarius what happened with the guy they beat up.
The guy from Friday is dead.
We are homicide detectives, and he died as a result of the injuries that he sustained on Friday.
Did you know that he had gone that far when he was unconscious, laying there gurgling?
I mean, I thought that he was going to recover from that. Yes, I thought he was.
Interesting reaction, man.
All right, sit tight for us, okay?
Detectives then returned to confront Glenda Carter's story,
reaction, man.
but after talking to the guys, it didn't take long for her to come clean.
Living okay? A couple things came up in our other interviews. They're saying that it was your idea to rob these guys.
Is that true?
I didn't help them do it. I just brought the guys. I didn't know what to do.
Okay, but you knew that they were going to be robbed.
I didn't know that they was going to be hurt, though.
Okay. The victim from yesterday had some pretty bad injuries. He underwent some surgery for his hand. He also had a broken arm. Okay. The victim from Friday is deceased. He's dead as a result of the injuries he sustained from you guys.
Well, what's going to happen, honestly?
Y'all are...
You going to jail, bitch. Better going to jail. You don't know what's going to happen. No, you get to walk away. I was just playing. That's what's good. You got it. You get to walk away.
Going to be looking at some murder charges.
Like, what?
Okay.
So we're all going
That's
to
probably
jail
the
today.
stupid duh.
Will I be able to
Hold on.
contact them? So we're all going to jail today.
Absolutely, yes.
What, she thought she was about to go home?
Will I be
Delusional.
able to contact family before we go to jail?
We might let you do that.
No. I just at this point feel like I need to kill myself because of
No.
what I've done.
Listen, you have a child to think about, all right?
Yes, and I'm possibly pregnant with another one. So it's like I don't have nothing to live for. She don't deserve me as a mom.
Well, I don't think that's true. Listen.
Then you'll be transported to the jail. You'll see a judge.
How much time? I wonder how much time they got. I hope they say it. I hate the ones that don't
You'll
say
be
it.
able to get an attorney or have one appointed to
How
you.
much time?
Shockingly, the sympathy for Glenda and Russell due to their daughter also turned into a sad revelation after detectives tried to know more about the little girl from the Department of Family and Children's Services. It turned out that Glenda had no child in foster care, she was not pregnant, and she did not have a child ever.
So I talked to the Department of Family and Children's Services, and I was able to find out that they do not have a child actually, and they have lied about it before. And other times where Glenda's
put
had
her
run in
under
with
the
the
jail.
police,
No
she uses
more.
that as kind of a tactic where she's told them that she can't go to jail because she has a child at home that she needs to take care of. But they were able to confirm that that's never happened.
Within 28 hours, detectives closed the case and arrested all 3 suspects. Glenda Carter was arrested on the charges of murder, aggravated assault, and armed robbery. She was later convicted of all 3 charges. Glenda's partner, Russell Williams, entered an offered plea to murder, aggravated assault, and armed robbery. He was sentenced to life in prison along with his brother Zarius, who would also spend his life in prison for murder, aggravated assault, and armed robbery. A simple man from Mexico who was working hard in America to give whatever comfort he could to his parents back home and create a better life, did not deserve to lose his life
Well,
the
did
way
she
he
get
did.
sentenced too?
Você era bien
Probably not.
trabajador y en
Man, 20 years old, 21. That's all I remember. I just remember the last guy age. He was 21, and just decisions like that just cause you the rest of your life, man. R.I.P. to Marco. R.I.P. Marco. That's fucked up.